Kaze and the Wild Masks is a tough platformer, and I don't just mean that in the sense that I'm rusty. I mean that in the sense that I played on the original mode difficulty rather than the casual mode difficulty, so the game proceeded to walk all over me for the slightest mistakes I made. Did I complain though? Well, yeah, actually I complained a lot, but I wanted to be challenged, so I did not want to go to the casual mode, even when I died to some BS. But let's walk through this game beat by beat so you can get the full picture. In Kaze and the Wild Masks, you must save the world from the evil that must be stopped. At least that's what one of the Steam trading cards refers to her as, and it's a fitting name to say the least, who has used the power of a magical staff to change vegetables into evil monsters, looking to do the people of the world harm. And by people, I mean animal people, but you get the point. The story isn't much since you get most of the context from collecting letters that spell out Kaze, K-A-Z-E, per level to give you the backstory. When the game begins, Kaze's brother, actually her friend, Hogo, I have it in my script as brother, but it's supposed to be friend. I looked online, it was like, no, that's her friend, not her brother. Okay, it wasn't very clear to me. I thought that was her brother, but either way around. Her friend, Hogo, is cursed and sealed within a bracelet that Kaze wears on one of her ears. Hogo also serves as your shield, so when you take damage, or at least in original mode, I can't speak for the casual one, you don't just instantly die. Beyond that and what the game tells you in the backstory from collecting the letters, you really don't get much of the story besides what little of the backstory that the game will give you, but it does serve as enough motivation to play the game and see how things turn out. Is the story important for the fun of the game? Not to me, honestly, since the game is a blast either way, but the game does seem to imply that there is a true ending after you wrap it up, so maybe I'm wrong, and if you were to collect everything it asks for, you would get a much more, I guess, airtight ending rather than the one that I did get. At the bare minimum though, what little story is there, again, is interesting enough to make you wonder. But that's about it. Visually, the game has some excellent sprite work, and it reminds me of some of the best looking platformers that I used to play back in my day. I'm only 31, and saying back in my day, am I allowed to do that yet? Am I allowed? I don't know if I'm allowed yet. I don't ask this a lot, but I'm genuinely curious. If in your mind you have a particular age where you think you can say back in my day and have enough in my day in your back in your day to support saying back in my day, what age would that be? Anyway, I love the animation work and how varied each level is from one another in both layout and in music. There aren't a lot of standout tracks in my opinion, but there are a decent amount of good ones in my mind. Moving on to the meat and potatoes, the gameplay can fluctuate quite a bit in this game from level to level. It really depends on the gimmick that is thrown at you. Thankfully, the gimmicks keep the game fresh, but I'd be lying if I said that I didn't want to hypothetically throw my monitor at my controller on occasion. Yes, you heard that right. Throw my monitor at my controller. I will pick this thing up and just by default, you have a jump, a glide, and 2 different kinds of attacks. 3 if you count just jumping on an enemy's head. That's it. The combat isn't the tough part here. It's the platforming, as it should be because it's a platformer. And even when you get a handle on the platforming and how it feels in this game, the gimmicks of each level will make that trickier for you. Again, as it should, being a platformer. Some will have falling platforms. Some will shoot gusts of wind into the air that you have to manage. Some will have some new enemy types that'll find some new way to get in your way. Some will have chase sequences, be it from a tornado following you or rising lava or acid. You get my point. But here's the thing, the platforming also needs to be accurate. The glide can only save you so much, but once you commit to a jump, you're committing. There is no double jump. No normal one anyway, but I'll get to that in a second. To help you with, oh wait, never mind, let me just defy physics and flip backwards with my front flip. You also only get one checkpoint per level, with the exception of the levels with mask statues and a checkpoint. So if you fall or die before reaching a checkpoint, which is typically at the middle portion, the halfway portion of a level, you start at the beginning of the level and have to collect everything you grabbed all over again, with the exception of the bonus levels. This annoyed me, obviously. I'm not going to lie to you, since I would have at least preferred to be able to keep the letters that I'd collected up to that point if I died, instead of having to go out of my way to go get them again. But hey, maybe casual mode allows that. And if it does, I'll shut up because I chose the mode I chose. This part is not in my script, but I did want to look up what casual mode actually gives you in the game. So thank you, catwithmonocle.com. In casual mode, you can stack an extra hit, making it 3 hits before death. Cool. You'll notice that your sidekick's color changes when you grab a second heart. In addition, you get more save points in casual mode. Well, that answers my question in more ways than one. So it sounds like you'll still need to go back and get everything that you lost. So there you go. Sometimes I wonder if I should play a game on multiple difficulties before I review them, and I think that's a case-by-case basis. Kind of like when I review Gory Cuddly Carnage, I had said that the game was very easy on normal difficulty. So I would suggest that if you want to buy it, bump up the difficulty if you don't want it to be too easy. I think that's a comfortable place to sit. But again, that depends on the game. Games like Unbeatable, where you could pick a song, select a difficulty. I'm willing to try the harder difficulties because it's just like 3 to 5 minutes or less if I suck on a specific difficulty, versus, hey, you're going to play Assassin's Creed number 82, which is a 50-hour long game, and you're going to play it on easy, normal, and hard difficulty or whatever. I'm not going to do that. That's not the kind of channel I run here. I will play it as the game is intended to be played. If the game says, hey, this difficulty is suggested for blah, then I will do that and I will review it as such. But if it's short enough, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to replay it for difficulty stuff. I don't know. Let me know what you think. For all I know, you could be the type of viewer or listener who just wants to hear whether or not a game's worth playing, not even about difficulty, just do I even want to buy this thing? Major tangent aside, I want to talk about the second half of the title of the game, the wild masks. These masks are discovered in specific levels, so they are not some form of equipment that you keep on Kaze's person. Instead, in some levels or boss fights, you will find a statue with a specific mask that is what the level or boss fight is centered around. So if you find the bird mask for flight, it's a level where you have to manage how you fly, how high, how low, etc. In boss fights, you just start with the mask. There's a bird mask for flight, as I mentioned earlier, a tiger mask for dashing and scaling walls, there's a shark mask for swimming, and a dragon, serpent, lizard-like mask for auto-running levels. And I don't mean auto-running as in autocomplete, I mean you don't get control over Kaze outside of how she jumps and when. That last mask is the most interesting one as well as the most frustrating one, since it puts more emphasis on your timing because you have no control, like I said, of Kaze when she's wearing that mask outside of jumping and diving. It is also the only mask that allows a double jump. The reason why it frustrates me is because every time you fall, not only do you have to restart from either the beginning of the level, well, technically from when you picked up the mask, but you also have to wait like, what, maybe 3 seconds max for Kaze to do her animation of, I'm wearing the mask, and then she goes on a run. Like, it's annoying. Now, on the one hand, would I want that removed? Yes, because once you see it enough, you're like, okay, I'm tired of seeing this. Can I skip this little animation? But at the same time, it gives you a nice little opportunity to like get yourself resituated before she takes off, because I would rather it not cut from death to you're running again before I'm ready, you know? So it frustrates me, but I get why it's there. Overall though, I really like the mask-based levels a lot, as they provide their own specific challenges. In fact, despite my gamer rage, I genuinely enjoy just about every level in this game with some exceptions. I also really enjoyed a majority of the boss fights. All you do in the boss fights is dodge any enemies whizzing by Kaze. Don't get hit more than twice, assuming you have a shield and are on original mode, or don't get hit once, in some cases where, getting hit might send you flying off of a platform. Then you just hit the boss 3 times in whatever way the boss fight allows. All in all, Kaze and the Wild Masks is a fun time that I definitely recommend for anyone looking for a fun and short-ish platformer to play. I say shortish because How Long to Beat has it at 5 hours on average for the main story, 7.5 if you reduce some side stuff, and completionist is like 10.5, so it really depends on you. Kaze and the Wild Masks gets a go for it from me and is available for PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Linux, and Mac operating systems. And Google Stadia as well, I guess, for $15. And with that, I hope you all have enjoyed your stay. I'm TUSReview, and I'll catch you guys next time.